Have you ever paused to think about the possibilities that come with living alone after retirement? For many, this stage of life is painted with mixed emotions, a blend of excitement for newfound freedom and a tinge of uncertainty about what lies ahead. Imagine waking up one day to a quiet house, the endless chatter of responsibilities replaced by silence. It's a silence that can feel both liberating and intimidating. But what if that very silence held the key to discovering something extraordinary about yourself? Before we continue, friends, I kindly ask you to subscribe to my channel. It only takes a second for you, but for me, it's an extra motivation to keep creating videos. I'd also really appreciate a comment. Thank you for your support, and now, let's continue with the story. Picture this. You've spent decades building a life around others, family, work, community. Now, the spotlight is on you. What dreams did you put on hold? What passions were left unexplored? Retirement, they say, is the time to rest, but what if it's actually the time to rise? To embrace the person you've always wanted to be? This phase of life isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a whole new chapter. But how do you begin? How do you thrive when the rules of the game have changed? Let me tell you about Jim, a man who thought he had it all figured out. After years of working tirelessly, he eagerly stepped into retirement, only to find himself unsure of what to do with his days. The TV became his companion, the couch his comfort zone. At first, it felt like a well-deserved break, but as days turned into weeks, something began to gnaw at him. A restlessness, a feeling that life was slipping through his fingers. One morning, Jim looked out the window and saw his neighbor, Susan, painting on her porch. Her easel stood tall, her brush dancing across the canvas. She was smiling, fully immersed in her work. It was then that Jim realized the difference between them. Susan wasn't just living, she was thriving. Have you ever felt like Jim? Like time is moving forward, but you're standing still? It's a feeling many of us encounter when the routines that once defined us are gone. But what if the secret to moving forward lies in embracing that stillness, in turning it into an opportunity to explore, to grow, to reconnect with yourself? Living alone after retirement doesn't mean you have to settle for just surviving. It's a chance to rediscover the things that bring you joy. To build a life that's not defined by schedules or expectations, but by your own desires. Whether it's learning a new skill, traveling to places you've only dreamed of, or simply finding peace in the little moments, this chapter is yours to shape. But here's the truth. Thriving in this new phase isn't just about doing more. It's about being more present, more curious, more intentional. It's about breaking free from the notion that life's best years are behind us. They're not. They're right here, waiting for you to claim them. And if you're wondering how to take that first step, don't worry. You're not alone in this journey. So, where do we begin? The answer might surprise you. It starts with a simple shift in perspective, a decision to see this time not as a void, but as a canvas, waiting for you to paint your masterpiece. And as we explore this journey together, we'll uncover the tools, the stories, and the inspiration you need to make the most of it. But what if the key to thriving lies in the smallest, simplest of actions? Let's dive deeper and find out in the next part. Living alone after retirement presents a mix of challenges, but each one carries within it the seed of opportunity. Let's explore these challenges not just as obstacles, but as stepping stones toward a fulfilling, independent life. Loneliness often comes first to mind. It's the quiet that sets in after decades of shared routines, the absence of a voice asking about your day. But loneliness doesn't have to define this chapter. Margaret, a retired schoolteacher, learned this the hard way. After her husband passed, she moved to a charming little house in her neighborhood, confident that she'd find peace in her solitude. Yet as the days stretched into weeks, she felt isolated. The turning point came when she attended a community gardening event at the park. Initially hesitant, Margaret brought a small pot of her homegrown herbs, unsure if anyone would notice. By the end of the day, she had exchanged gardening tips with a group of newfound friends. Those casual conversations grew into regular meetups and potlucks, forming a network that became her support system. Margaret's story highlights a key truth. Combating loneliness starts with connection. Attend local events, join hobby groups, or volunteer. Simple steps that can lead to meaningful bonds. And in today's world, technology bridges the gap. Virtual book clubs or video calls with distant loved ones can create a sense of presence, even when you're miles apart. Have you ever considered that one small effort could spark a lasting friendship? Sometimes, the hardest step is the first one out the door. Another challenge is financial stability. Retirement often marks a shift from earning to spending, making it crucial to adjust habits. James, a retired electrician, discovered a simple yet effective way to regain control of his finances. He began tracking his expenses, noticing patterns like frequent dining out and unused subscriptions. By cutting back on these, he redirected his budget toward hobbies and travel, giving his days new excitement. James also explored senior discounts, which opened doors to concerts, museums, and fitness classes at reduced prices. Have you ever thought about where your money goes and how small adjustments could make a big difference? For those facing financial uncertainty, consider seeking guidance. Many communities offer free or low-cost financial planning resources tailored to retirees. The key is to view your finances as a tool for creating joy, not just meeting needs. What dreams could you bring to life with careful planning? Health concerns, too, become more pressing with age. Living alone means being proactive about your well-being. For Margaret, that meant reevaluating her approach after her porch accident. She realized she couldn't handle everything alone, so she made changes. She hired a local handyman for home repairs and started using a grocery delivery service. She also joined a Tai Chi class at the community center, where gentle movement and laughter became part of her routine. These adjustments not only improved her physical health, but also strengthened her confidence. Staying active and engaged is crucial for maintaining health while living independently. Explore low-impact exercises like walking, yoga, or swimming. Small daily habits like stretching in the morning or preparing nutritious meals can make a big difference. Have you ever noticed how little changes in routine can lead to significant improvements over time? Lastly, there's the question of purpose. After years of defined roles, whether as a professional, parent, or partner, finding meaning can feel elusive. Yet purpose doesn't disappear with retirement. It evolves. Barbara, a former accountant, found her purpose in mentoring young professionals. She began volunteering with a career counseling program, helping others navigate the challenges of their early careers. The gratitude she received in return gave her a sense of fulfillment she hadn't felt in years. Purpose can be found in many places. A creative pursuit, community service, or even revisiting an old passion. Ask yourself, what have I always wanted to do but never had the time for? This stage of life offers the chance to rediscover what lights you up. Each of these challenges, loneliness, finances, health, and purpose, requires a proactive mindset. Start by identifying your unique needs and taking small, intentional steps. The truth is, living alone after retirement isn't about solving everything at once. It's about building a life that feels meaningful, one piece at a time. So, what's the first step you'll take? In the next part, we'll explore how to turn these insights into actions that create a fulfilling and independent life. After all, the path forward starts with just one decision. Let's take that step together. Living alone after retirement doesn't mean closing doors. It means opening them wide to possibilities you might never have imagined. This is a moment to rediscover the freedom to choose what fills your days, to create a life that truly feels like your own. It's not about erasing the past, but about building on it, shaping the future with intention and curiosity. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the time you used to dedicate to others, whether it was raising a family or climbing the career ladder, is now entirely yours. It's a strange but exhilarating thought, isn't it? For many, This shift feels like standing at the edge of a vast ocean, unsure whether to dive in. But what if that ocean is where you'll find the most vibrant and fulfilling parts of yourself? Take Susan, for example. She spent her entire career working as a nurse, always putting others' needs before her own. When she retired, she struggled with the idea of having so much free time. What do I do now? She often asked herself. One day, while cleaning out her attic, she stumbled upon an old set of watercolor paints she hadn't touched in decades. On a whim, she decided to try painting again. At first, it was just a way to pass the time, but soon it became her passion. She started sharing her art online, joined a local painting group, and even exhibited her work at a community fair. Susan found not only a creative outlet, but also a new circle of friends who shared her enthusiasm. She often says that picking up that paintbrush was the best decision she ever made. Have you ever rediscovered a hobby that made you feel alive again? Rediscovery isn't limited to hobbies. Travel, for instance, offers a chance to explore the world with a fresh perspective. Whether it's a cross-country road trip, a quiet retreat to the mountains, or a cruise through the Caribbean, travel can ignite a sense of adventure. John, a retired high school teacher, took this idea to heart. With a small RV, he began exploring national parks across the country. He marveled at the Grand Canyon's vastness, felt the serenity of Yosemite's ancient forests, and met countless travelers along the way who shared their stories. Each trip left him with a deeper appreciation for life and the realization that age is no barrier to adventure. But you don't have to travel far to feel renewed. Sometimes, it's about engaging with your local community. Volunteering is a powerful way to find purpose and connection. For Linda, a widow who had always been passionate about education, volunteering at a local literacy program was transformative. Teaching young adults to read gave her a sense of fulfillment she hadn't felt in years. It's not just about helping others, she said. It's about reminding yourself that you still have so much to give, and yet the most significant opportunities often come from within. Living alone provides a rare chance to listen to yourself, to ask, what do I really want? Maybe it's finally writing that novel, starting a garden, or simply slowing down to enjoy life's simple pleasures. Have you ever sat quietly with a cup of coffee, listening to the morning bird song, and felt completely at peace? It's these moments that remind us of the richness in simplicity. Close your eyes and imagine this. A version of yourself unburdened by expectations, free to explore what makes your heart sing. This is your time. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It just needs you to show up for yourself. The life you've built so far is a foundation, but this chapter is yours to write. How will you fill its pages? Perhaps with small acts of courage, a decision to call an old friend, to learn a new skill, to simply sit in stillness and dream. Each choice, no matter how small, is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. So as you stand at the edge of this new horizon, remember, it's not about how much time you have. It's about how deeply you live it. You've spent years caring for others, meeting deadlines, and chasing goals. Now, it's time to turn inward and care for the person who's been there through it all. In this quiet, reflective space, you may find the greatest opportunity of all, the chance to rediscover yourself. What if the secret to unlocking this freedom lies not in what you do, but in how you choose to see the possibilities around you? Let's take this journey together and uncover the answers in the next part. One of the greatest joys in life is the bond we share with family and loved ones. Yet as we grow older and begin to live alone, these relationships often take on a new dynamic, one that requires a delicate balance between staying connected and preserving independence. It's a balance many of us struggle to find. Have you ever wondered how to maintain your autonomy while still nurturing those close relationships? Take Mary, for instance, a retired librarian. Mary cherished her 2 adult children and was proud of the strong family ties they had built over the years. But when she moved into her own apartment after her husband's passing, her children grew concerned. They began calling daily, checking in on her plans, and even stopping by unannounced. At first, Mary was touched by their attention, but as weeks turned into months, she felt her independence slipping away. Decisions about her own life, what to eat, where to go, how to spend her day, seemed to require constant input from her kids. Mary didn't want to alienate her children, but she knew she needed space to thrive. So, she decided to have an open conversation with them. Over coffee one Sunday, she shared her feelings. "I love that you care so much about me," she said, "but I need you to trust that I can take care of myself. It means so much to know you're there for me, but I also need room to grow in this new chapter of my life." Her honesty, paired with a gentle tone, helped her children see her perspective. They agreed to step back, and Mary promised to keep them informed about her well-being. It was a turning point that allowed their relationship to flourish without compromising her independence. Conversations like Mary's are never easy, but they're essential. If you've ever struggled with setting boundaries, here's a tip. Frame your needs positively and focus on shared goals. Instead of saying, "I don't need your help," try, "I love knowing you're there for me, and I'd like us to focus on ways I can manage things on my own." This approach reassures your loved ones while asserting your independence. Clear communication, delivered with kindness, can strengthen relationships and help avoid misunderstandings. Maintaining independence also means finding ways to manage life's practicalities. Technology offers countless tools to simplify daily life while keeping you in control. Beyond meal delivery apps, consider these options. Transportation services. Apps like Uber or Lyft provide easy access to rides when needed. Some even offer features tailored for older adults. Medical reminders. Apps like Pill Reminder or Medisafe can help you stay on top of medications without relying on others. Smart home devices. Voice-activated assistants like Amazon Alexa or Google Home can set reminders, play music, or even control the lights and thermostat. For Jim, a retired mechanic in Florida, embracing these tools was a game changer. When his daughter suggested a grocery delivery service, he was skeptical. But once he tried it, he realized how much stress it took off his plate. He even discovered online tutorials to learn new recipes, turning cooking into a hobby instead of a chore. Jim's story reminds us that small adjustments can lead to big improvements in quality of life. What happens, though, when loved ones want to take on a caregiving role? It's natural for adult children to want to help, especially as they see their parents grow older. But well-meaning assistance can sometimes feel like a loss of control. If you've ever faced this, you know how important it is to strike a balance. One strategy is to suggest specific ways they can support you that align with your needs. For example, ask them to handle seasonal chores, like raking leaves or setting up holiday decorations, rather than day-to-day tasks you're capable of managing yourself. This allows their help to feel collaborative rather than overbearing. Another way to foster independence is by building a community outside your immediate family. Local clubs, neighborhood groups, or faith-based organizations provide spaces to connect with others who respect your journey. Janet, a widow in her late 60s, joined a hiking club after retiring. She loved her children dearly, but found that being around peers with shared interests gave her a fresh perspective. It wasn't just about the hikes. It was about the conversations, the shared laughter, and the sense of belonging that made her feel whole. As you navigate these dynamics, it's also helpful to set aside time for self-reflection. Ask yourself, what aspects of my life do I want to manage independently, and where am I comfortable accepting help? This clarity can guide your decisions and conversations, ensuring your needs and values remain at the forefront. Ultimately, balancing relationships with independence is about recognizing that both can coexist. You don't have to choose between being self-sufficient and staying close to loved ones. Instead, it's about weaving the two together in a way that honors your needs and their intentions. It's about embracing the idea that independence doesn't mean isolation. It means creating a life where you can stand tall on your own while reaching out with open arms. So, what if the secret to thriving lies in redefining what relationships look like in this stage of life? What if this is your chance to build connections rooted in mutual respect, trust, and love? As we move forward, let's explore how to create a future filled with harmony and fulfillment. The answer might be closer than you think. As we reach the end of this journey together, let's pause to reflect. Living alone after retirement isn't simply about navigating a new reality. It's about embracing the opportunity to craft a life that's entirely your own. This chapter offers you the chance to rediscover the joys you may have set aside, to build connections that uplift you, and to live in a way that feels authentic and free. Have you ever considered how much possibility lies within this moment? Think of Margaret, who found community in her garden, or Susan, who rekindled her love for painting. Their stories are reminders that growth doesn't stop with age. It flourishes when we nurture it. Like them, you hold the power to create a life filled with meaning, one small choice at a time. Perhaps it's starting a morning routine that brings you peace, joining a local group that shares your interests, or simply making space for gratitude each day. Beyond the present, this is a time to think about the legacy you wish to leave. It's not about material things. It's about the moments and lessons that will live on through the people you've touched. Maybe it's sharing a favorite recipe, passing down a family story, or offering wisdom that comes only with experience. Your legacy is a testament to the way you've lived and loved, a reflection of your unique journey. What's most powerful about this stage of life is that it's yours to define, whether you feel energized or uncertain. Every day is a chance to begin anew. Life isn't measured by grand gestures, but by the small, meaningful steps that create a fulfilling path. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need to take the first step. And the beauty of this chapter is that there's no rush. It's about savoring the journey, not reaching a destination. As you think about what lies ahead, remember that you're not alone. There's a community of people walking this path alongside you, individuals with their own stories, challenges, and triumphs. If something in this message resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments. What's one step you're inspired to take today? Your insight might encourage someone else to take theirs. If this video offered you a new perspective, consider sharing it with a friend or loved one who could benefit from it. Together, we can create a ripple of inspiration, reminding one another that it's never too late to embrace life fully. And if you'd like to continue exploring ways to thrive and find joy, join our community by subscribing. There's so much more to discover, and we'd love for you to be part of it. Our next video will dive deeper into how to create a meaningful life, no matter your age. Until then, take a moment today to appreciate where you are and where you're going. Breathe deeply, dream boldly, and trust in your strength. This is your time to shine, to live, love, and leave a legacy that reflects your beautiful, unique story. Let's walk this path together, one step at a time.